Good afternoon, everybody. So, like I said, for the second class, and let me begin by saying please excuse any noises you hear outside. Um, my neighbors are working on the fence in between our houses, and so it might be a little loud at times, so, I'll speak up. But for our second class, because the first class, I definitely talked about a lot of technical terms and 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 things of that nature. And so, what I want to talk about is, okay, so some people, we had the vaccination clinic, so some people have got the Johnson & Johnson, which is still safe. It's just, there are some cases, and unfortunately someone died, and so, the CDC takes that very seriously. A lot of people have gotten their doses of Pfizer. I've got both my shots done from Kaiser with Pfizer. Kaiser with Pfizer. Say that 5 times fast. Kaiser with Pfizer. Kaiser with Pfizer. Kaiser with Pfizer. I can do it. Some people got Moderna, and that again is a 2-dose vaccination process. So what we should talk about is, because there was an email that came out recently. It was addressed to all the staff, but I think to go alongside, that's what I'm talking about. It sounds like they're banging on the window. But to go alongside all the other stuff that I told you earlier, that this is something that might be fun to listen to. So, yeah, so we're going to have to deal with that. But such is life. It comes in spurts. So, but luckily this class will not be anywhere near as long as the last class. I promise that's a drill. So this came out on the 30th of March. So the very end of March. And it says great news. So here's the great news. So COVID and Contra Costa County. So it says we are happy to report that the incidence of COVID-19 in our community is still declining. Now we're at mid-April pretty much when I'm doing this. But that was it, so this is only 15 more days in. And I know that a lot of people are anxious to get outside, but, Contra Costa County is still declining, which is really good for our program to start opening up slowly. Today we are at 4.7 cases per 100,000 people. So roughly that translates to about 60 people in our community still testing positive each day. We are now in the red tier, and when we get below 4 cases per 100,000 people, we will move to the orange tier. And this is due to the efforts in everyone getting vaccinated and other safety measures. To date, about 25% of us in Contra Costa County are fully vaccinated. This is a way to get our services back open. So 25%. So there's still about 75% to go. I do know that some people don't like needles whatsoever, and so they have a tough time getting the vaccination. I have people in my life that, I don't know, you almost have to knock them out in order for them to get a shot. But that they don't live here, they live in Utah, so that's Utah's problem. But here, at 25%, that's pretty good. That means 75% of what's being reported of people have not been vaccinated yet, but it's going way up. So health screening measures, and so this affects us as monthly surveillance testing continues as part of our health screening measures. And I've been doing that, I make appointments, and sometimes it's kind of difficult because, well, they'll have different time slots available, and then when you click on it, it says no, and it's usually like right in the middle of what our class time would be. And so it's like 10:45, so I have to get ready, leave by 10:30 or 10:20 to get there. Make sure that the line's not too long, and then by the time I get back, the whole day's gone. So that's why I ask y'all to pick a different class whenever I do my surveillance testing, which is just the nose swab, and each time it's come out negative. But I can still be a carrier of COVID-19. I just can't get it myself now that I'm vaccinated. So in addition, you may have noticed when you arrive at a facility, there's a new question on the health screening chart for having a good fit for your mask. It must cover your nose and mouth with no gapping. Remember, this virus is airborne. You don't want to sneak it in. And I've been doing the double mask thing. So I have one mask on, and then I put another mask over that, just to be doubly sure. And I got some so my glasses don't fog up when I'm talking, or breathing, which was annoying at the store with some masks. I'm like, I can't see anything. Now I have to drive home. So vaccination points of distribution, which is POD coming to Vistability. Vistability has partnered with the RCEB, which is the regional center of the East Bay, the DD Council, so the Disabilities Development Council, and Contra Costa Health Services to provide a dedicated vaccination site for our staff and clientele for one day. So that's what had already happened. And that's why I went over everything with the Johnson & Johnson. And they did another one in Antioch. We were, George Miller was kind of the Richmond site was kind of the, jumping off point to figure out what worked, what didn't work, and things like that. So, again, if you wanted to get the vaccine, you had the opportunity. And of course, through your healthcare provider, you can still get it. I think pretty much everybody has gotten a vaccine of one kind or another that I know of in program. But there's a lot of people that are just big question marks that I'm like, I don't know. And it's every person's right to choose not to. It's, they're right. But okay, so more great news. Changes in travel restrictions. So the California Department of Public Health continues to discourage non-essential travel at this time. However, they have lessened the in-state restrictions. You can now travel within California and return to work without a quarantine period unless you have been directly exposed to COVID-19 or engaged in high-risk behavior. For example, attended a crowded event, traveled by airplane, gone to a gym where there's a bunch of people at, gone to, well, I guess that, a concert would be a crowd event, or like a basketball game or something like that. That is considered still high-risk behavior because, again, you can still be a carrier of COVID. And until we know that people are safe and we have all the safety protocol to come back and be ready to go, we're not going to be able to do it. But the restrictions remain on out-of-state and out-of-country travel, in which, upon return, you must self-quarantine for a minimum of 10 days. Please be safe and don't bring COVID-19 back into our area. So basically, they're saying don't travel outside the state, and stay home and stay within California. I wonder, though, if family comes to visit you and you happen to be in California. I don't know. Okay, so, and then even more great news. So early intervention opens partial in-person services. So congratulations to go out to the Lynn Center in Pittsburgh, which partially opened for a few hours yesterday with 4 preschool children. Everyone was happy to see them, and Lynn Center met all the criteria put forth by Community Care Licensing to make this happen. And licensing is very important to make sure that it's something that they make sure that things are done safely. Plans are in the works to do the same in preschools at both George Miller Centers in April. So hopefully this is a sign of things to come as we look ahead to increase in-person contacts with the teens and adults we serve. Stay tuned. So that is the good news about getting the vaccination. Again, it doesn't mean you don't have to wear a mask. Again, it doesn't mean that we don't have to follow all the safety protocol. And it also doesn't mean that we come back at 100% back. I would say I'm not sure what the distance is now for safe seating in a van. And I'm not sure if you actually have to, I'm not sure what the situation is there. But, for staff, as long as people are being vaccinated and they're telling people they're vaccinated, and other people are getting vaccinated, are willing to share that information, I think it helps. But again, it's your information. I just want everybody to be safe, and I want everybody to be healthy. I know I have not done the best job while being sheltered in place. I've become far too comfortable at home, and I really want to get back out into the community. And I want to start helping at Meals on Wheels. I want to start driving. I want to go. I've had suggestions to go far away, not necessarily the city, but somewhere. So I'm going to start looking into places in California where we could actually make it. And maybe just have, an outdoor lunch or something like that. I mean, it could be at a restaurant, but I'll request an outside table and do something like that, which would, I think, be actually pretty fun. But I do look forward to suggestions from y'all. I'm not sure how everybody feels about going to a movie, but, that's something that we could do. And so long as I know that, we're keeping safe distance and the movie theater isn't overcrowded. We could go buy snacks before, so we don't have to worry about concessionaires. I don't know if they let you bring backpacks in anymore to a theater, but anyway. So that's the good news. I went over the first class. It was kind of, serious news, but again, if anything happened with Moderna or Pfizer, I would do the same thing. So this is what's going on at George Miller, and the good news about getting back, and this just came out maybe 2 weeks ago. So anyway, I miss y'all. I hope you enjoyed the good news. Always good to follow up with good news. But I'll hopefully see you all very soon. All right. Ciao for now.